Welcome to T1 Academy. In our last sessions, we discussed some of the important concepts. So today in this session, we are going to discuss about averages. Not only the concept, we will discuss the previous year's questions as well as some of the practice questions now. Okay, now see here, there is when it comes to the averages, we can also, what we can say is include this with the mean. The other word for average is called mean. Okay, average or mean more or less we will find in the similar manner. We will find it in the similar manner. For example, if I want to find the average, the only formula for average is what? Sum of the observations by total number of observations. Okay, sum of observations by total number of observations. Now, this is the only formula, not only for average, the same formula we can also use for mean also. Okay, this is the only formula. Okay, good sir. If they give you some observations, we will take the help of this formula. We will simply add all those observations and divide it by total number of observations. Okay, well and good, that is clear. Now, but there is another method. There is another method for us to calculate the same average. For example, take an example. For example, if some people 15, 20, 25 and some 40. Okay, there are 4 people. They have 15 rupees with one person, 20 with one, 25 with one and 40 with one. Now, if I want to find the average number of money, average amount with each and every person, means usually what is the general method for us is here? What is the general method? I will add all the observations. 15 plus 20 plus 25 plus 40 by 15 plus 20 plus 25 plus 40 by number of observations are how many here? 4. So what you will do? 15 plus 20 it becomes 35, 35 plus 25 60, 60 plus 40 it becomes 100. So now 100 by 4. So that you will write your average as 25. You can write your average as 25. That means there is an average of 25 rupees with all the 4 people. Right? Now that is one process. The other one is, this is very, very important, student. Please observe here. It is up to you. Take anything as an observed value. It is up to you. Take anything as an average initially. We can call that as assumed mean in some terms. We can also call it as assumed average, whatever it may be. Take anything as your required one. For example, I will take 20 as my base. Okay. Now what I will do here? What I am going to do here? Please observe here. 15. I will compare 15 with 20. 15 is less than 20 by how much? 5, right? So less, right? So I will take minus 5. Now 20, when I compare it with 20, actually no need to write, but still I am writing it as 0. Plus, when I compare 25 with 20, 25 is more than 20 by how much? 5. Similarly, 40 with 20, how much it is more than 20? 20. It is 20 more than, 40 is 20 more than 20. So total number of observations are how many for me here? 4. Total number of observations are how many for me here? 4. So 20 plus, now please see here, plus 5 and minus 5 will get cancelled. 20 by 4 means 4 ones are, 4 5s are. So 20 plus 5, what it becomes? 25. So now please observe here, students. This method we are going to use while solving some of the difficult problems. In general, this is the standard procedure. No need to worry. Anyway, more or less all the students know the standard procedure. Sum of observations by total number of observations. But here we need to concentrate on this. Not only 20 students, you can take anything. For time being, I will take 15. There is no wrong in taking 15 also. If I take 15, when I compare 15 with 15, what is the value? I will get 0. When I compare 15 with 20, what I will get? 5. When I compare 15 with 25, I will get 10. When I compare 15 with 40, I will get 25. And total number of observations are how many for me here? 4. The total number of observations for me here are 4. Right? So now what happens to this? 15 plus 5 plus 10, it becomes 15. 15 plus 25, 40. 40 by 4. 4 ones, 4 tens. So 15 plus 10, what it becomes? 25. So it is up to you. You can add or subtract anything to the values. Okay, good, super. Next we will make some observations here, students. What are those observations? These observations are very, very important. Please observe here, students. For example, if there are 2 numbers 20 and 20, what will be the average between them? What will be the average between 20 and 20? 2 terms. Sir, the average will become 20. Why? Because all the observations, both the observations are 20. For example, if there is one more observation, if set something like this 15, 15, 15, what will be the average of these students? 15. What is the reason? All the values are equal to 15. Okay, good, superb. Now, to this 20 and 20, please observe here, student. Now I will add something 15 to this, 15 to this group. Now what will be average of the new value, new data? What will be the average of this new data? My observation, what we need to make here is, tell me one thing, whether it will be equal to 20, greater than 20 or less than 20. Whether our average will be equal to 20, greater than 20 or less than 20. What we will get here? Our average will be less than 20. Sir, what is the reason? See, if already two observations are 20 and 20, right? If I take only the average between these two observations, what I will get? 20. Now, when I add 15 to this group, obviously, what will happen to my average? My average will fall below 20. My average will always fall below 20. Why? Because I am adding a value which is less than the previous average. Not only values, previous average. I need to compare it with previous average. What is my previous average? 20. The number which I am adding to the previous average is less than, right? Less than the previous average. So, obviously, the average will fall less than 20. The average will fall less than 20. Don't think that 15 is less than 20. It is not like that. 15 is less than the previous average. What is the previous average here? 20 only. Because of that reason, my new average will become less than 20. Less than 20. Understood? Understood? Now, for example, I will give you one more data, 18 and 22. What is the average between 18 and 22? 18 plus 22 by 2. You will say 20. Okay, good. Now, I will add one more number, something like this, 19. 19. Now tell me whether my average will be less than 20, equal to 20 or greater than 20. My average will be always less than 20. What is the reason, sir? The previous average for me before adding this 19 to this group is 20. Now I am adding a number which is less than the previous average. So obviously my average will fall below 20. My average will fall below 20. Now similarly come to this case. Just now we discussed, right? The average, I have three numbers whose values are 15, 15 and 15. Okay, good. So what will be the average of these three numbers, students, here? 15, right? The average of these three numbers is 15. Now I am going to add one more number 20 to this group. One more number 20 to this group. Now tell me whether my average will be equal to 15 or it will be greater than 15 or it will be less than 15. What will be my average? My average will be always greater than 15. What is the reason, sir? What is the reason? Means see here, what is my previous average? 15. My previous average is 15. The number which I am adding, newly adding to this group will become what? Which is greater than the given previous average, right? Because of that reason, my average will be increased or it will be greater than 15. Understood, students? From this, what we can understand is, when a new value is added, if it is greater than the previous average, the average increases, or if it is less than the previous average, then the average decreases. Understood, student? Okay. The same thing vice versa. For example, there is an average. For example, the average age of some 10 students is 15 years. 10 students average age is 15 years. Okay. Now one more new student was added to that group. And the average became 15.2 years. Now tell me, what will be the age of the new student, whether it will be greater than 15 years or less than 15 years? Vice versa to this case. Now tell me, actual average of 10 students is 15 years. Now one more student was added to that group, so that the average became 15.2 years. Now tell me, what will be the age, approximated age of the new student? Definitely it will be greater than, age of new students will be greater than 15 years. Because of that only it became, the average increased here. The average increased here. For example, even after adding the new student also, the average remains same. That means the average is same 15 years. Then what is the age of the new student? Definitely the age of the new student will be 15 years only. Why? Because there is no change in the average. For example, if the average came down to 14.8 years, then what will be the age of the new student? Definitely it will be less than 15 years. It will be less than 15 years. Understood, students? Understood? I think this observation is very, very important, students. Why? Because based on these observations only, we are going to solve some problems next. Understood? When the age increases or when the age decreases, how we are comparing the ages or weights, whatever it may be. We are going to see these type of things later. If the average increase means the newly added person's weight or age, whatever the data, that is greater than the previous average. If the average remains same means the newly added data will be equal to the previous average. If the average falls down means definitely the newly added data will be less than the previous average. This is the observation. Okay, good. Next, for example, this is single entries. But sometimes in our questions we will have groups of people. Groups of people, like that means see here, in a class there are 20 boys and 15 girls, and the average weight of boys is 35 kgs and average weight of girls is 30 kgs. 30 kgs. What is the average weight of whole class? What is the average weight of whole class? This is the question we will have. Something like this. Okay. Now, first of all, please observe here which average is less, whether girls average is less or boys average is less. Girls average weight is less. That means see here, what is the minimum value here? 30, right? That means in the class every person is having a minimum weight of 30 kgs from this observation. Why? Because boys average weight is 35, that is more than 30. Okay, so 30. A minimum of 30 is there with all the persons. Okay, now when I compare this set with the girls, 30 with 30, what is the difference between 30 and 30? 0. So no need to write, but for your understanding I'll write 0 into how many girls are there in the class? 15 girls are there in the class. Plus, why? Because this 0 is not with one person. Like this there are 15 girls. Right? When I compare this with the boys, what is the difference? I have 5 kgs. And how many boys are there? What number of boys are there in the class? 20. So 5 into 20. Understood? Group. If the data is single data, then we can write it individually. But whenever the data is like a group, so definitely we need to take them as a group only. See here, average weight of boys is 35 kgs and total number of boys are how many in number? 20. So that means 35, 35, 35, 35, like this we will have 20 people. So 5 into 20. By total strength of the class is how much? 20 plus 15, it will become 35. The total strength of the class here is 35. Okay, so now what happens to this 30 plus? Anyway, no need to write this girls one, but for your understanding I have written 5 into 20 means 100 by 35. Now if you want you can cancel 5 20s, 5 7s. So next 30 plus 20 by 7 means 2.85 something you will get. So approximately the average weight of the class is 32.85 kgs. The average weight of the class is 32.85 kgs. Understood? In this manner we are going to find the averages when the data is given as a group. Okay. Understood, students? Individual data, when the average increases, when the average decreases, and as a grouped data. Like this we will have 3 different cases. Now we will solve the previous year's questions, students, as well as some of the practice questions also. Now see here. The captain of a cricket team of 11 members is 26 years old and the wicket keeper is 3 years older. That means captain's age will become what? 26 years. When it comes to wicket keeper, his age became what? He is 3 years older than the captain, right? So 29 years. Okay. If the ages of these two are excluded, the average age of the remaining players is 1 less than the average age of the whole team. Now see here, overall how many member of players will be there in a cricket team? 11 members. 11 members. So in that two numbers, one, we don't know the total average also. Let us assume that let the average of whole team be X. Let the average of whole team be X. Okay. Let the average of whole team be X. Next. What happens next for us? The average of remaining 9 players. Why I am using remaining 9 players? Why? Because they clearly said that if these two are excluded, the average age of the remaining players is 1 less than the average age of whole team. That means 9 players average age will become how much? X minus 1 years. X minus 1 years. Okay. Now the average of whole team we know, the average of 9 players we know. Now they are asking us what is the average age of the team. That means they are asking us to find what is the value of X here. What is the value of X here. Now sum of their ages will be equal, right, in both the cases. So from this first average case, what will be the sum? Tell me. How you will find the sum? We know that average is equal to, what is the formula? Sum by number of observations, right? Sum of observations by number of observations. If I want sum, what I will do? I can multiply average with number of persons. So in that case, from the first case, with the help of the total whole team's average, what I can write? Sum will become what? 11 into X. Why? Because 11 players and their average age is X. So the sum will become what? 11X. Here the sum becomes 11X. Okay, good, superb. Next, when it comes to next case, from the next case, what will be our sum, students? The average of remaining 9 players is what? X minus 1. So 9 into X minus 1 is the sum of 9 players plus captain's age is 26 years and wicket keeper's age is 29 years. Understood? This is the total sum we have here. This is the total sum we have here. Now from this observation, what we can say? Sum of these two values should be equal. These two sums should be equal. Why? Because anyway the same team, right? Same team. So these two values should be definitely equal. So from this, what I can write now? See here, students. 11x is equal to 9 into x. What it becomes? 9x minus 9 plus 26 plus 29. What it becomes? 55 for us. So now when I substitute 11x, when I send 9x to this side, what it becomes? Minus 9x. So 2x value will become what for us here? 55 minus 9 becomes 44. So x value will become how much? 22 here. So the answer for this one is none of these. The answer for this one here is none of this. Okay. None of this. None of this. Right. Next one. See the next one. The average monthly income of a person in a certain family is of 5 is rupees 10,000. What will be the average monthly income of a person in the same family if the income of one person is increased by 1,20,000 per year? Okay. Here first of all, please be careful, students. Here they given us the average monthly income, and next one person's yearly increase was what? 1,20,000. So please be careful with this one. Don't get confused. Okay. Now see here, 5% average will become what? 5% average is what? Actually 10,000 here. Monthly average is 10,000. Monthly average is 10,000. Now if one person's average is increased by 1,20,000 per year, means how much increased per month? Per month it will become what? 1,20,000 by 12. 1,20,000 by 12 means it will become 10,000. That means the overall increase in the salary of that 5 persons is how much? 10,000. Now this 10,000 should be divided among all the 5 persons, right? So actual average is 10,000. Actual average is 10,000 plus the newly added amount is how much per month? It is 10,000. Newly added amount per month is 10,000 and this 10,000 should be divided between all the 5 people. This 10,000 should be divided among all the 5 people. So 5 ones 5 2,000s. So the new average will become how much for us here? 12,000. The new average will become how much? 12,000. So students, please be careful. Here they given us the monthly average income and here they given that the salary was increased 1,20,000 per year. Per year. What happens is some students directly, okay, overall increase is 1,20,000. So directly they will write 1,20,000 divided by 5 and they will cancel with 24 times and they may mark you will mark your answer as 34,000. That is completely wrong. So please be careful. Okay. Simple concept, but he will try to confuse you by asking this type of questions. Next one. The average marks of 100 students are given to be 40. Okay. 100 students average is 40. 100 students average is 40. Okay. It was found later that marks of one student were 53, which were misread as 83. Okay. Now tell me, what is the correct marks which is scored here? What is the correct marks is scored here? Actual marks was one student were 53, but it was misread as 83. Whether they added additional marks or less marks? More marks, right? To compensate that, now what I need to do? Whether I need to subtract or I need to add here? See, actual marks is how much? Actual is 53. Actual is 53. But he misread it as what? 83. Okay. So whether we added more or less, definitely we added more. How much we added more here? What is the difference between these two? 30. To compensate this, now what I need to do? I need to subtract, right? Why? Because I added more. So that means I need to subtract. Okay. Now this will impact my whole average, right? What is the actual average they given for us is 40. 40. Now tell me first observation, whether the average will come down 40 or will be equal to 40 or will be more than 40. Definitely it will come below 40. So these two options will be gone by default. Why? What is the reason? Why? Because those two options are equal to 40 and one is more than 40. Here we are adding additional marks, so definitely we need to subtract. So now 40 minus 30 by, I need to divide this with all the 100 students, right? 100. Why? Because total, it will impact the whole, what we can say, class average. So 30 by total number of students are how many here? 100 for us. So 40 minus 30 by 100. So what happens to this? 40 minus 0.3. So what will be our answer here? 39.7. 39.7 will be the correct average. 39.7 will be the correct average. See students, if it is added extra, definitely we need to subtract. If it is added less, we need to add. Here in this case, we are adding 30 marks more. That means from the total also I need to subtract 30. I need to subtract 30. So minus 30 by 100. Okay, next one. A family has 2 children along with their parents. Okay, the average weights of the children and their mother is 50 kgs. Okay, that means 2 child plus mother is how much? 50 kgs. Average. Average of 2 child and mother is 50 kgs. The average of weights of the children and their father is 52. Okay, average of 2 child and father is how much? 52 kgs. Okay. The average of weights of the children and their father is 50. If the weight of the father is 60 kgs, then what is the weight of the mother? Okay. Father weight they given it as 60 kgs. 60 kgs. Now see here from this what is the total weight or the sum? Total or sum? Average into number of persons, right? Sum will become what? Average into number of persons. Average is 52. So 52 into 3. Total or sum students. This is total or sum. So that means the total weight of the 2 children and father is how much? 156. 156 kgs. The total weight of 2 children and father is 156 kgs. Okay. Now in this very clearly they mentioned that father's weight is how much? 60 kgs. So Two children's weight will become what? 156 minus 60, that is 96 kgs. Two children's weight is how much? 96 kgs. But what is our question here? What is the weight of the mother? Now from this average of two children and mother, what is the total or sum? Tell me. Total weight or sum of the weights is equal to 50 into 3, that is 150. 150. Two children and mother's weight is how much? 150. Now already we came to know that just now two children's weight is how much? 96 kgs. So mother's weight will become what? 150 minus 96, which will be equal to 54 kgs. 54 kgs. So the mother weight here is how much? 54 kgs. Understood, students? See, here like this mostly they will give us two different things, but it will be interlinked with each other. See here, average of two children and mother they given it as 50. That means 3 persons average is 50, means what is the total? 50 into 3, 150. And 3 persons average is 52, means what is the total? 52 into 3. That will become 156. And father's weight they given it as 60, so children weight will become what? 96. And mother's weight we calculated there. By substituting this 96 there, we got the mother's weight as 54 kgs. Next one. The average score of a batsman after his 50th innings was 46.4. After 60 innings, his average score increases by 2.6. Okay. Average up to 50 innings. What is the average they given for us here? 46.4. Okay. After 60 innings. Okay, that means average after 60 innings. His average score increases by 2.6. That means earlier it is what? 46.4. Now it increased by 2.6. So what will be the new average here? Tell me. 46.4 plus 2.6. So his new average will be 49. His new average, what was his average score in the last 10 innings? Last 10 innings. That means from here to here, we need to find the average score. Now, average up to 50 innings is 46.4, right? So, from this, what is the total runs scored by him? 50 into 46.4, right? 50 into 46.4. Okay, so 50 into 46.4 means 464 into 5. What you will get? 2320 runs. The runs scored by him was 2320. 2320 runs. Next, average after 60 innings is what? 49. So, what will be the total runs scored by him? Total will be equal to 60 into 49. 60 into 49. Right? So, what is the total runs which we will get here? 49 6er. What you will get? 49 4 5 29. Right? 2940 runs. The runs scored by him was 2940. Now last 10 innings means the difference between these two only, right? So what is the runs scored by him in last 10 innings? Last 10 innings, what is the runs scored by him? 2940 minus 2320. Okay, so how much you will get here? 620 runs. 620 runs. And what will be its average? Its average will become how much? 62. Why? Because 62 by 10. Average means 10 innings, right? So 62 by 10. So his average will become 62. His average here becomes 62. What we have done? First we calculated the total up to 50 innings. Next we calculated what is the total up to 60 innings. The difference between these runs and these runs will be the runs scored by him in his last 10 innings, right? So what are the runs scored by him in last 10 innings? 620. And they are just the average. Average means what? Sum by number of observations. So 620 by 10 it became what? 62. 620 by 10 it became 62. Next one. In a class there are three groups A, B and C. Okay, fine. If one student from group B are shifted to group C, then what happens to the average weight of the students of the class? Now see here, students. Is he moved away from the class? No. Just he moved from one section to the other section. That means the total number of persons are unchanged, right? If the given data is unchanged, if only shuffling happens, will there be any change in the average? No. There will be no change in the average. It remains the same. It remains the same. If for example he completely leaves the class, that is secondary. Definitely the average will change. But in this case what is happening? He is just moved from one group to the other group. Anyway, he remains in the same class. So definitely the average remains same. It will not be changed at all here. Next one. The average age of a teacher and 3 students is 20 years. Okay. Teacher plus 3 students. Average is 20 years. Okay, if all the 3 students are of same age and the difference between the age of the teacher and each student is 20 years. Now see here, what they are telling is all the students are of same age. Let us assume student's age is one student's age is x. That means all the 3 students' age will become x, x and x. And from this, what is the total ages of the total sum of their ages are total 20 into 4, right? Total 4 observations. One teacher and 3 students. Total 4 people. So 24s are 80 years. That means the total age of the students, 3 students and the teacher's age together is 80 years. 80 years. And we assumed that one student age is x. And in next case is what they given for us is the difference between the age of the teacher and each student is 20 years. Now tell me, what will be the age of teacher? Teacher age will be x plus 20, right? Why? Because if student's age is x, teacher's age will become what? X plus 20. Why? Because the age difference between them is 20 years. Okay. Now from the question, what we can write? 3 students age, x plus x plus x. These are the ages of 3 students. Plus, what is the teacher's age? X plus 20. This sum is equal to what? 80. Very clearly they mentioned in the question itself, right? So now what happens to this? 4x is equal to, if I send 20 to that side, it will become 60. X value will become what? 15. What is the question they asked us? What is the age of the teacher? X value is 15. Now teacher's age will become how much? Teacher's age is here will become 35 years. Why? Because x plus 20. So teacher's age here is 35 years. Teacher's age here is 35 years. So simple students, in this what we can say concept, always they will give us the averages. We need to find either the total, or sometimes they may give us the total. We need to find the average, or sometimes they may skip the number of students. Like this, depending on the cases, we will find the answers. Okay. Next one. The average weight of A, B and C is 40 kgs. Okay. The average weight of B, D, E is 42 kgs and the weight of F is equal to that of B. What is the average weight of A, B, C, D, E and F? Okay. That is the question. Now please see here. Average of A, B, C is what? 40. That means A plus B plus C will become what? 40 into 3, 120. Why? Because 3 observations and average is 40 means 40 into 3 it will become 120. Okay, A plus B plus C is 120. Next, the average weight of BDE. Average age of B, D, E is how much? 42 kgs. That means B plus D plus E value will become how much? 42 into 3. 42 3s are 126 kgs. Okay. Sum of B, D and E is 1. Okay. The weight of F is equal to B. Okay. They are telling that B F weight is equal to B. Okay. Put that aside. What is the average weight of A, B, C, D, E and F? What is the average weight of A, B, C, D, E and F? Now, please see here students. Whether we can find the average weight or not, that is the first case here which we need to deal. Why? Because see here, from this data, are we able to find the individual weights of either B or some other person? Is it possible for us? Why? Because F and B, they said that those two are equal. That is, put that aside. First of all, is it possible for us to find the, when you can find the value? If you know ABC is 120, BDE value is 126. But here, do we know the exact value of weight of B? If we know that value, then easily, okay, we can write the average of total. Why? Because A plus B plus C is 120, B plus D plus E is 126. 126, like that we can do here. But we don't know the exact value of B here. And it is not following any particular order. So you may say that, sir, here B is common, here B is common. Yes, B is common in both the cases. But how we can find the weight of B? It can be anything, right? They didn't mention us any other clue. They didn't mention us any other clue regarding B. Okay, if I add these two things, for example, if I add these two things, okay, what I will get here? A plus B plus C plus B plus D plus E. Okay, now, sir, we cannot find the answer, right? We will say we cannot find the answer, sir, without knowing the value of B, how we can find the answer for us here, sir? Is it possible for us to find the answer? First of all, in this case, for actually speaking, if this rule was not given, we cannot find the average age of the persons. But here they said that F is equal to B, right? F8 is equal to B. Now please observe here, if I add these two things, that means when I add these two things, A plus B plus C, that is the first one. Next, B plus D plus E, this is the next one. When I add these two things, see here, can I replace this B as F? Can I replace this B as F? Yes, definitely yes. Why? Because B and F values are equal. Okay. Now when I add these two things, I will get A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F. What I will get here? 120 plus 126. So sum of observations by number of observations. What is the sum of observations? 246. And number of observations are how many here? 6. A to F. 6 ones are 6, 41s are. So the average weight is will become what? 41 kgs. The average weight of A, B, C, D, E and F are 41 kgs. See here students. First and foremost, if it is a general manner, when you observe it here carefully, sir, how we can find means, yes, if this relation was not given for us, actually speaking, we cannot find it. But here the relation was given for us, because of that reason, we can easily find our answer. Okay, next, we will move to the next one. Now see here, there are two classes A and B having 25 and 30 students respectively. In class A, the highest score is 21. See here students, this type of questions are very, very important. Why? Because the chances to ask from this area is very, very high. Now see here, two class A and B having, A have 25 as a strength, and when it comes to B, the highest strength is 30 or 30 number of students. Okay, this is strength, 25 students and 30 students. Okay, in class A, the highest score is 21 and lowest is 17. That means the average will lie between 17 and 21. Definitely right. The average also lies between 17 and 21. Why? Because the highest is 21 and lowest is 17. Next, in class B, the highest score is 30. Okay, and the lowest is 22. Lowest is 22. Okay, 4 students are shifted from class A to class B. See here students, 1 second. What will be the minimum worst average? In this case, in worst also, you may think it as 22. For timing, assume that all the students are 20. What is the highest average here? Worst case also. Actually, it will be definitely little bit. In worst case also, it will be greater than 22. Okay. Why? Because the highest value they clearly mentioned as 30. Here, what is the average of this class A? This will be slightly less than 21, right? Why? Because least is 17, they mentioned. So less than 21 will be the average of this one, and this average will be in this case will be more than 22. Am I correct? Why? Because the least value is 22 here and the highest value is 21 here. Now 4 students are shifted from here to here. 4 students. Now tell me their average, what we can say, scores will be, their average scores will be less than 22 only, or their scores will be less than 22. In the beginning of this session, while discussing the concepts, when the new values added to the previous one, if the values added are less than the previous one, see, these values are always less than or equal to 21, right? If I shift this 4 to this one, whether these values are less than my previous or average or more than my previous average, definitely these 4 values will be less than my previous average. These 4 values will be less than my previous average. So when these 4 values are less than my previous average, now tell me what will be my new average? Will it remains the same, or it will fall below the previous average, or it will be more than previous average? Definitely it will fall below the previous average. Okay. Now, the average score of the class B will be definitely decreased. Yes, class B's average will be definitely decreased. There is no doubt in that. Definitely it will be decreased. Next, the average score of class A will be definitely increased. We cannot say definitely. Why? Sir, why? Sir, here 4 are remaining. Yes, we don't know whether they are the students who left from class A to class B are the students who scored more marks or the students who scored less marks. We don't know exactly. We don't know exactly. Because of that reason, we cannot say. We cannot say if they mentions that, if they mention that the students who scored less marks are shifted means, then I can say that the average is increased. But here in this case, they didn't mention such type of case, right? So we cannot say exactly here. Okay, we cannot say exactly here. Because of that reason, we can only say that only one is correct, the second one is false. Only one is correct, the second one is false. So one only, one only. Next one. Now see here, the average weight of a class of 24 students is 36 kgs. Okay, average weight of 24 students is 36 kgs. Fine. When the weight of the teacher is also included, the average weight increases by 1 kg. Okay. Average weight of 24 students plus a teacher is equal to what? 37 kgs. 37 kg. What is the weight of the teacher? What is the weight of the teacher? See here students, you can solve it in 2 ways. One is the general and standard procedure and the other one is shortcut. Now we will see both of them. For example, 24 students average weight is 36 means what is from this, what is the total weight or the sum of weights? Total weight or sum of weights? What is the total weight or sum of weights? 36 into 24. Why? Because 24 students and 36. 36 into 24. What you will get? 720. 720 plus 144. It will become 864 kgs. 864 kgs. 36 into 24. 360, 360, 720. And next 36 4s are 144. So it will become 864 kgs. Next. Total. From this, what is the total weight? Tell me. Weight. So total number of persons here will become how much? 25 for us. 25. Now the total number of persons here will become 25. And the total weight of students plus a teacher will become what? 25 into 37. 25 into 37. 25 into 37. So what you will get here? 3700 by 4. 4 ones are 4. 9s are 36. 10 means 2 times and 5. 925 kgs. 25 kgs. 925 kgs. So the sum of all the students' weight is 864 kgs and the sum of students plus teachers' weight is 925 kgs. So what will be teachers' weight now? 925 minus 864. 925 minus 864. 25 plus 36. What will be the average? Weight 61 kgs. So the weight will become how much here? 61 kgs. This is the general method. This is the general method for us. This is the general method for us. Now, if I want to do the same one with the help of a shortcut, how I am going to do this one is, please see here, the average is increased by 1, right? This 1 kgs will be given by whom? The teacher. Okay, that means the teacher will be having a minimum of 37 kgs. Why? Because the average was moved to 37. Plus, already how many students are there in that class? 24 students. And the average is increased by 1 each, right? So, 24 into 1. This is new average students. After adding teacher, this average will become what? 36 will become 37. So, 37 plus, and every student's average increased by 1 means what? Every student weight is increased by 1 kg. That is 1. And this is total number of students. So, 37 plus 24. What you will get here? 61 kgs. Like this also you can do. This is the shortcut method for that one. Okay, 61 kgs. Next one. The average marks of 50 students in a class is, in a test is 80. Okay, 50 students, average is 80. It was found that the marks of one student was 93 but was misread as 43. Now tell me, what is the actual one? 93. What is the wrong one? 43. Now tell me whether they added more marks or less marks than the actual one. They added less marks than the actual one. How much marks? Less marks? 50 marks. That means they added 50 marks lesser. So to compensate now what I need to do? I need to add this 50 marks to the total marks. So that the average, new average will become how much? What is the old average for us? Is 80. Plus this 50 marks should be added, and this when I divide it with to the average with the 50 students. So this 50 will become what? 50. This is students. See here, these are 50 students and this is 50 marks, additional marks which should be added to the group. Okay, so 50 ones, 50 ones, so 81. 81 marks will be the new average. See here students, the similar type of question we seen earlier. There we added more marks, so there we subtracted. I think 30 case, 30 and we need to divide it for 100 students, so 30 by 100. Here 50 marks and we need to divide for only 50 students, so 50 by 50. Okay, to compensate here actually we need to add 50 marks. In that case, to compensate we need to subtract 30 marks. Okay, that is the reason. So the new average will become how much? 81 marks. 81 marks will be the new average. Next one. The average height of 30 girls out of a class of 40 is 160 centimeters and that of the remaining girls is 156. That means see here students, the average weight of the whole class is, see 30 students, average height is how much? 160 centimeters. And out of 40, right? So remaining are how many in number? 10. This is very, very important. This 10 students average height is how much? 156. 156. Understood students? They instead of mentioning it clearly, they mentioned separately. The average height of 30 girls out of 40, of a class of 40 means 30 students average is 160 and the remaining 10's average is how much? 156. 156. They are asking us what is the average weight of the whole class. Now see here, 160 centimeters and 156 centimeters. That means a minimum of 156 centimeters is there for the entire class. Okay, what is the least value here? 156. See here students, not only least value, you can also take from highest value also. But you need to subtract there. Here you need to add. So it is very easy for us to add than to subtract. That is the reason 156 plus I am taking. Now, how much students, when I compare 156 with 160, how much is more? 160 is more than 156 by 4. And with how many students? 30 students. So 40 into 30 plus this is not required. When I compare 156, it will become 0 anyway. So no need to worry, or we don't require that one. By total strength is how much? 40. Definitely we need to add these two students. Total, whatever the things which we are adding or subtracting, we need to do that for the total. So now what happens is 4 ones, 4 tens, 0, 0 get cancelled. So 156 plus 3, it will become what? 159. So the average here will become 159 for us. Okay, 159 centimeters will be the new average of the entire class. Okay, next one. If we take 4 numbers, the average of first 3 is 20 and that of the last 3 is 10. Now see here, assume that 4 numbers are something like this. What they are telling, the average of first 3 is 20. Okay, next they are asking the average of last 3 is 10. That means the average of last 3 is how much according to them? 10. Okay, next. If the first number is 20, the last number is, that is the case. See, average of first 3 means A plus B plus C will become what? First 3's average is 20 means total will become 60. Am I correct? Next. The average of last 3 means what? B plus C plus D. Its average, they mentioned it as 10. So the total will become how much? 30. Okay. And they are telling that the first number is 20. If first number is 20, what about B and C? First number is 20. They are telling that A is 20. So 20 plus B plus C value will become how much? 60 for me. So B plus C will become how much? 40. B plus C will become how much? 40. They are asking us the last number, that is D. Now I will substitute this B plus C here. So 40 plus D value is equal to what? 30. So now what will be D value? 30 minus 40. So D value here will become minus 10. D value here becomes minus 10. So the last value will become what here? Minus 10. The last value is here minus 10. Understood students? Right? Next one. The average of 20 numbers is 0. Okay. Of them at the most, how many may be greater than 0? How many may be greater than 0? See here students, average is becoming 0 means what? When the average becomes 0, when there are definitely some positive and some negative numbers, then there is a chance to get the average as 0. Okay, else we will get always a positive or a negative number. Now please see here, the average is becoming 0, then at max how many may be greater than 0? Now what are the chances? See here, 20 numbers, average is 0. Now tell me how many numbers I can take positive and how many I can take negative? See here students, I can take only one positive and 19 negative numbers whose sum will be equal to this one positive number. That is one chance. I can take two positive numbers and I can take 18 negative numbers, so whose sum will be equal to this one. Like this I can take, right? Like this, why only like this? In reverse order also, at max, right? How many will be greater than 0? Now I will take 19 positive numbers. I will take only one negative number such that whose value is equal to sum of these 19 numbers. Then also the average will become 0. So that means how many can be more than 0? 19. So there will be 19 numbers which are more than 0. Right? Next one. The average age of husband, wife and their child is 3 years ago was 27 years. Okay. The average age of husband, wife and their child is 3 years ago was 27 years, and that of wife and the child 5 years ago was 20 years. The present age of the husband is, that is the question. Now see here students, 3 years ago average is 27 years. Whose average? Husband, wife and their child. Okay. Husband, wife and child is 27. 3 years ago. Now tell me what will be the present average? What will be the present average? Everyone's value will be increased by 3, 3, 3 and right? The present average will become what? Present average. Present average will become what? 27 plus 3. Why? Because all the values are equally incremented by 3, 3, 3, 3. So the average will also increase by 3. So the present average will become 30 years. Okay, present average will become 30 years. Okay, next. And that of wife and child 5 years ago was 20 years. Okay, 5 years ago wife and child average will become what they are telling 20 years. 20 years. The present age of the husband is. Okay, we will see here. See, present average is 30. So present total will become what? 30 into 3. That is 90 years. Okay. Now 5 years ago, wife, average of wife and child is how much? 20 years. Now from this tell me what will be the present average? Present average of wife and child will become how much? 25 years. Why? Because 5 years were passed. For both the people the age will increase by 5 each. So the average also will be 25 years. Now tell me what will be the present total of both of them? Present total of wife and child will become how much? 25 into 2. That is 50 years. 50 years. So present total of wife and child is 50 years and present total of wife, husband and child is 90 years. From these two things what I can get, what will be the husband age? 90 minus 50. So the husband age will become what? 40 years here. Okay, the husband age here becomes 40 years. The husband age is here 40 years. Understood students? Okay, previous age was given, from that we calculated the present ages. Present ages. See, if a value is equally increased, if all the values are equally increased, then the average also will be equally increased. Okay, from that logic. Next one. The average age of 10 men increased by 3 years when one of them whose age is 54 years is replaced by a woman. What is the age? Now see here student, if the average is increasing means, first observation already I told you, the newly added persons average age will be greater than the previous one and it is replaced, right? So first of all our answer will be greater than 54 and anyway all the options given for us are greater than 54. Put that aside. Now average age of 10 men is increased by 3 years. Let us assume that 10 men's average age is X. Then what will be the total of them? Total will become what? 10x. Total will become what? 10x. Put that aside. Okay. Now one man was replaced. Now next, 9 men men's total will become what? 9 men's total. Why? Because one man of 54 years is left the group, right? So what will be the total for me? 9 men's total will become 10x minus 54. 10x minus 54. 10x minus 54. Now to this a woman was added. A woman was added whose age we need to find here, and because of this addition each person's age will becomes 3 years. Okay, it will be increased. See, average increasing 3 means definitely the woman should have 54 years of age. Definitely the woman should have a minimum of 54 years of age, or else increased one only we will take. After an addition also we can take, but we don't know what is the previous one. Because of that reason I will take 54 only. New average, actually speaking, new average will become what for us? Here 54 was replaced. Now 54 went out from the group and new one was added. Okay, because of this, what will be the total increase in age? Total increase in age is equal to 10 people. Anyway, the total remains the same. When the woman was added, one man left, right? So anyway, the total number of persons remains same. 10 into 3. So 30 years. So total increase in the age is how much? 30 years. This 30 years was brought by whom? That woman. When she brought that one, when a man of 54 was replaced with a new woman. That means the age difference between the woman and that man who left the group will be how much? 30 years. So now tell me what will be the woman's age? 54 plus 30. So the woman's age here will become 84 years. The woman's age here will become 84 years. See here students, because of addition of the woman, the average was increased by 3, right? And the number of persons is remaining same. Previously it was 10, now also it was 10. Why? Because it is the case of replacement. One person left the group and one person was added to the group. The total number of persons remains same. And the average is increased by 3 means each person's average age will be increased by 3. So 10 into 3, 30. From where this 30 years, additional 30 years was brought? From the addition of that woman. So woman's age will become 54 plus 30, it becomes 84 years. 84 years. Next, right? With this we finished the concept of question average. See here students, this subject is enough for UPSC CSAT. When it comes to other examinations, that is different. We will learn another set of videos are there for that. But this video is only for UPSC CSAT. So this knowledge is enough for the average concept. Okay. Thank you. We will see in our next session. Thank you very much.